Hello and welcome back to Fallout 76. Today we are going to have a look at the Kabloom. With all the changes to perks and shotguns themselves, I figured it was time to give this weapon another look. So the Kabloom is a pump action shotgun and it has a chance to drop from the event Safe and Sound. And the default effects on it are anti-armor, explosive, faster reload speed, and it also does poison damage to the enemy. It has a poison on hit effect, and it also does damage over time. You can see that there on the left-hand side. It's poison damage over 7 seconds. Now, this weapon actually can be changed. You can modify any of the legendary effects, and you can actually add a 4th star. And that's what I've done with this one. So I've replaced anti-armor with Juggernauts. Juggernauts just works better with my build than Furious would. You can see with my health currently, I'm getting bonus 65% damage from that effect. And then I've added a 4-star. I've added Vipers, which does bonus damage if the target is being poisoned. We'll get an extra 50% damage. I just thought that synergized really nicely with the special effect of this weapon. So in theory, this should actually do pretty well. All right, so first up, we have Scattershot. That is really good at immobilizing larger targets. Love the spread. This will just give us more range. It'll take the maximum range from 72 up to 93, so that's a nice little bump. Easy target, this will just do more damage to a target that's been crippled. And Shotgun Champ, 10% more damage to crippled targets per projectile, so 8 projectiles on a shotgun, 80% more damage to a target that's been crippled. Then we have Number Cruncher, 2% more damage per AP cost. Now, the highest I can get the AP cost on this is 20, so that'll be 40% more damage. Tormentor, that's just 20% more damage per crippled limb, so yeah, we're going for crippling here. We have Center Masochist. This is mainly for the hip fire, but it can be for VATS as well. So 75% range damage when attacking the torso. So some things like super mutants, it can be kind of tough to hit their heads sometimes. So a torso is a nice fallback, especially when you're getting 75% bonus damage. Fast Fighter, this is for the extra reload speed. This actually gives you a nice little reload speed buff. And since we reload one at a time, this will actually be a pretty nice perk to have. And we have Demolition Expert. That'll give us a boost to that 2nd star, the legendary explosive effect. Have Modern Renegade and Enforcer. Those both give us just bonus limb damage. Gorilla will give us plus bonus damage to close enemies, which is pretty much everything we'll be fighting. This is a close-up weapon for sure. And we have Adrenaline, so we're facing multiple targets. Every time we kill one, our damage will go up to 10%, and that maxes out at 100%. And because we do critical hits, we'll be doing Critical Savvy and Better Criticals. And here are the mutations. We have Speed Demon, mainly for that is the extra reload speed. Herd Mentality, plus 2 to all our specials. Not going to make a huge difference, a little more endurance, I guess, so that'll help with the Juggernaut's effect a tiny bit. Herbivore, double the benefit from veggie foods because that is what we use. Eagle Eyes for the extra critical damage. And Adrenal Reaction works just like Adrenaline, but it's 5% per kill instead of 10%, and it maxes out at 10 kills. Now, as far as the food goes, Sweetwater Special Blend, you can see that extra 12 perception, so that'll definitely help with the VATS accuracy. We have Blight Soup for the extra 100% critical damage. Pumpkin Pie, that'll give us an extra 80 health, which is extra 8% damage for that Juggernaut's effect. And Silt Bean Soup, a little bit of extra endurance, which translates into extra health, which also helps the Juggernaut's effect. All right, what is the, not much of a hit chance on that guy up there, so we're just gonna pretend like he doesn't exist and go on to some closer targets. Let's see, let's try some torso shots. See how those do. Yeah, torso's pretty good. I mean, head will do more damage, even with the 75%, but let's see, headshots are pretty good up close. Yeah, this is okay. This actually is hitting pretty hard. I think probably the poison effect. I mean, Vipers obviously isn't coming into effect because that's gonna be the 2nd hit unless it does some magic where one projectile hits and then it applies to all the other projectiles, which I have a hard time believing the server could calculate things that quickly. But who knows? This is there we go. That one took 2 shots. But I think for the most part, I'm finding shotguns, at least anyone that I've tried, has just been just a really amazing performer. Everything is just a one-shot. I don't need to do sneak attack damage at all. Just, yeah, this is really great. All right, we've got there's a couple of gulpers. Can I hit the head? Well, there's a critical. All right, and he's completely crippled. You can see it. He's taking poison damage over time. So bonus damage there. That one's a little bit out of range. We're gonna shoot it anyway just because, see what we can do. So that's one hit, and now he's hiding. Oh, there we go. Now he's coming right to us, and yeah, all right. Not bad, not bad. The gulpers are actually pretty tanky. Let's get that reload. Yeah, that is a little bit of a thing. Once you start to sprint, the reload stops, so we definitely want to... Now these are Okay, so robots are immune to poison, supposedly. So I'm not really sure how this is going to go. I mean, probably everything's gonna be a one hit. Let's do a torso, it's just a one hit. I want to keep one alive and just see what the effect's gonna be. So that's why I'm shooting the torso instead of the, okay. So it doesn't matter that they're immune to poison. All right, so this guy will not die in one hit, so. Yeah, so they're immune to the poison effect. I mean, you can see under the health bar, there's not even anything over time, so even it's not, you know, it's not triggering, doing no damage at all, so. Yeah, so I would say the Viper's effect is probably giving you nothing against robots because they're not being poisoned at all. So yeah, but it's still, even with them being completely immune to poison, this is still hitting really hard. One of the reasons I actually don't care for the poison effect is you have, when you have a whole class of enemy, in fact, one of the most dangerous classes of enemies in robots, being completely immune to the effect makes it a lot less tempting for me to use, but this thing just hits hard enough without the poison that, yeah, it hits hard enough without the poison that, okay, that was Ricochet. I forgot to take Ricochet off. Let's remedy that right now. We don't want Ricochet stealing the weapon kills, right? This is not a Ricochet video, it's a Kabloom. Wow, okay. So this thing, even against enemies that are completely immune to poison, whether I'm doing a VATS critical or just a manual, you know, hip fire, I mean, that's not aiming, that's just hip firing. This still does pretty nice damage. Works as a, and I do have it modified, by the way, that I did use the true mods, which is what you want for hip fire accuracy, is the, you know, the true stock and the true receiver. That's why the crosshair is so small, but for hip fire, it's still really nice as well. All right, now Snallies, they're not immune to poison, but they've got, I mean, if you see the resistance, 490, and when you compare that to other resistances, so poison is the worst option against the Snallygaster, but that's not the same thing as immunity. So if I hit them, yeah, you can see they're still taking damage from the poison, even if it's not a lot of damage, but that's, oh, something's gonna explode. But it's enough, I mean, it doesn't matter how much it is, as long as they are being poisoned, you'll get the bonus from that Viper's effect. So yeah, so robots, Vipers is no good, but against these guys, it'll work. In fact, against everything that's not a robot, it should actually work okay. Oh, come on. There we go. There we go. I mean, come on, his health bar had no distinguishable amount of health left. Now, none of these are one-shots. If we can get a, let's see. Oh, that was a critical on that second. I wanted to hit him with a critical on the first, but I used it by mistake. But still, these all go down really easily. And because of that poison immunity, my guess is that this is the completely wrong weapon to use against the Guardian. I'm still gonna try it though. I'm curious to see what we can do against the shield. I mean, shotguns in general aren't the best. They do decent damage because that shield generator is considered a limb. But because the ammo capacity and the fire rate take this massively awesome legendary. Yeah, that ammo capacity, the fire rate, it's just generally shotguns are not the best Okay, he was here, or I hallucinated him, or yeah, something. All right, well, there was a Blood Eagle, and I guess, yeah, he was so intimidated that he just flashed out of existence, so we've got a Mirelurk King there. Pretty good. Let's see how we do against the Queen, and something else will come up right here. That'll be good. Keep that kill streak going. I think the Queen is probably, yeah, she has pretty decent, well, she has good immunity to everything, or resistance, rather, so. But still, we should be able to cripple those spouts, and once we do that, she is, and she does take poison even if it's not doing a lot to her, but that's still giving us a massive boost to damage, so that's, you know, that was pretty easy. And Scorch Beasts are always fun, because you just never know where they're going to fly, where they're gonna, alright, so we got a little bit of a, yeah, okay, so as the percent damage, as the percent hit chance goes up, I miss more and more shots. I don't think that's how it's supposed to work. We'll just do some, all right. And of course I do have Juggernaut, so I'm losing, jeez, okay. Sometimes the server's like, hey, every shot's gonna hit. And other times it just gives you a finger. Let's see here. Head's probably the wrong. This is just futility right here. Okay, there we go. I'm just trying to get something crippled, and maybe we can get it to land, and everything is shooting me from, oh, right here. Right there. All right, there we go. Land already. Should have been shooting the wings, though, but scatter shot should be transferring damage, so I should be able to cripple the wings eventually. You would think, shooting other body parts, but not looking so much. So this is one of those fights that's not going my way, although it is fun to shoot things. I will say the shotguns are really fun when they're working properly and you're actually hitting. There is a floating, well, there was a floating rad rat. All right, so now we're doing, I mean, that's pretty good damage, and that's, you know, that's times 8. So those damage numbers you're seeing, so that's, there we go. So that was 366 times 8 on the head, so not too bad. All right, so even though I think this is the complete wrong weapon, or probably anyway, it's probably the complete wrong weapon for this particular fight, I'm still gonna try it. I've never tried this weapon against the Guardian, so that's the one way to know is try it and see how it goes. But yeah, the fact that we're relying on, you know, poison damage, not only as just part of the damage from the weapon itself, but also for that Viper's effect, and this being a robot, I'm guessing it's probably gonna go poorly. Let's see here, damage, well, and the fire rate, oh, okay, and I'm dead. All right, we're gonna try this again. Hopefully I can stay alive long enough. I just wanna see how much damage I could do, and, all right, so that's 2 hits worth on the shield, so that's not too bad, but you can see we're not, so the damage is actually not terrible. The problem is the fire rate and the ammo capacity. That's the big issue, and my survivability, but that has nothing to do with the weapon. So the damage is okay, but I mean, yeah, the ammo capacity, the fire rate, so yeah, even though we're not getting bonus from the poison effect, but yeah, this is just the wrong weapon for this particular, this is the wrong weapon for this particular fight. And I'm dead again. So I actually really like the Kabloom. I mean, I like pump action shotguns anyway, and the Kabloom actually hits really hard. So it works really well. Obviously, there is the caveat of poison damage not affecting robots at all. So against the Guardian, obviously, it's a completely wrong choice of weapon. And if you're a shotgunner, you probably carry more than one shotgun anyway. But with all the perk card changes and the changes to the base damage of shotguns, this thing actually hits really hard, and I like it a lot. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit one of the buttons, and I hope you'll join me in the next one. Thank you very much.